You look thirsty. A drink, sir?
You had no right to interfere in Rauatai's business.
Juana?
I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemir cares even less.
If this is what passes for Rauatai in diplomacy, Razanui has bigger problems.
If you've come to see Arkemir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
Tamar and I wanted something from Arkemir. Our powers of persuasion leave much to be desired.
The wizard got his hands on a Juana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rauatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
The Harapo epic belongs to the Juana. The Queen sent me to remind you both. A spellcaster, and a damn good one, specializes in hexes and illusions. He and his apprentice run the Dark Cupboard, a local magic shop.
I believe that he had dealings with black market treasure hunters. Not that the Queen will implicate him.
She's too preoccupied negotiating with the warmongers at her door.
Arkemir could be drinking Kuiki wine with dead kings. There's no finding him if he doesn't want to be found.
Akira, few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people.
Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason.
There are things better left unsaid.
While I'm standing here, you mean?
Akira, I don't deny it. Arkemir left the city, likely for the peace and quiet we didn't grant him.
At least I offered to pay him. Your only currency is altruism.
I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island. For me. These are frustrating times we live in. What say? There's always Fasina, Arkemir's apprentice. No love lost there if whispers are true. Arkemir seems to enrage those of his inner circle. Nana.
They don't let you have those in Deerwood anymore. That one's in pretty good condition.
I got nowhere else to turn. Stonehill is going to kill me.
Don't drag me into your mess, Bertenno. Not again.
Then you leave me no choice. I'm sorry.
Hey, come back with that! Madiko! That flaccid pazzo! Imp, you had none of that, huh? That's what I thought. What am I going to do? Think, Fasina. My postenago of a lover stole Rokawa's fingers. The master will kill me if I don't get them back. He must have wanted to raise some fast coin. Arkemir will flay me alive over those damned gloves. I cannot tell if you're stupid or very, very stupid. Bring me the gloves and I'll give you the key to the front door. And we never had this discussion. Deal? I do not know where Bertenno fences his goods, but he mentioned an appointment at the Brass Citadel docks. He mentioned that he owes money to a Raotayan captain named Hamuto Stonehill. Not some imp. Go hang laundry. Ah, you mentioned your little plan before. Ifrin tried to sneak in. Now he's stuck in a box telling fortunes for pyres. You already pledged to help Bertenno. Or was that a lie? Bozzo, your plan is so poorly concocted that you had to tell me about it. I am beyond finished discussing this. If you don't have any business, then this could be where we part ways. The imps that guard the manor? Idiots. Arkemir plays with shape-shifting illusions, so his imps know him by his clothes. Do with that what you will. Bertenno stole Rokawa's fingers to pay off his debt. If Arkemir finds out, he will boil me into broth for his imps. Is it strange? I don't know. Go consult Arkemir's grimoire if you're that curious. You do not know Arkemir, do you? He is as cheap as a Wodican clerk. Whatever he loses from those gloves, he will take out on me. Somehow. Not that it's any of your business, but Bertenno used to spend a lot of late nights here. I got into the construct's guts and marked off Bertenno as a safe visitor so they would not attack him. And before you ask, no, I will never do this again. He said that he's in debt to a Rautayan captain by the name of Hamuto Stoneheel. By all accounts, a deadly serious man. Suddenly, my whole existence revolves around these gloves. Incredible.
Did the Queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I'd never seen Aruizi run so fast.
Do you think the Audra Colossus would come here next?
If you come to do business, outsider, you are late. Your people are already inside, speaking with the Queen. You will find her in her throne room, through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter.
You return. What say, friend?
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered. How quaint of you to point this out in a room of warmongers and conspirators. You have the ear of the throne. Speak on, then.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Ganta Nichese. I'm acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take two Valians at their word?
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain, a fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hisongo. Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hisongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagino, go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Ah, Your Excellency. Pamed kang swalias.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew. Akira, if you can stand the chattering of unlike minds on your ship, that is your prerogative.
Good thing I'm already accustomed to cramped quarters and temperamental birds.
We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with me.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hisongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. And take care with your trading company spies.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. While we have the chance.
I know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew? My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here.
I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice. Better that you hear it from me than someone else, right? The company isn't in the business of reassigning officers outside of the mission unless they've got a damn good reason. And you are a damn good reason. Take the compliment. This whole campaign is a risk-benefit analysis. The Navy knows you're a gamble, and they're factoring in all potential losses. Rawatai is here to do some good work, since the Huana can't seem to do it themselves. Maybe just try and stay out of our way. Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks. Ishi, come.
That's a good-looking bird. Hey, Birdie. Hey, Birdie.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start. Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made. Well, naturally, that's your right. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it? Sort it out as equals. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. Mostly preemptive measures. We try to pull the weeds before they reach the garden. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain. Speak your mind, Captain. Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better, sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny, I heard tell that Kana sailed off in search of whatever he didn't find in the Deerwood. They say he lit a fire under the Ranganui to speed up the taming of the Deadfire. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. You kept him alive in any case, while he wandered the lands in search of stories. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there. I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds. Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since. Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots. After they emigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious. No, I don't. Can't speak for all the tribes, though. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better.
Thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others. I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative. I hoped you'd understand. Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity. At your suggestion, I took up Theos's mantle after we parted company. I wanted to use the leaden key to improve the lives of Kith. So for 5 years, I've been tracking down leaden key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret, hoping they can be reformed. Wherever did that come from? Never mind. It's my responsibility. It's just, I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of changing the leaden key would be tracking down its members and operations. Perhaps this would be easier with an example. I went to a village in Old Avelia, a run-down backwater of a place. Centuries ago, the leaden key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition.
You got an eye for charming little towns, I'll say that much.
At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No, I thought new leadership might guide them away from this practice. So I adjusted some of the deeds pertaining to the ownership of their land. It just so happened that a nearby Contessa, a rather prosperous one, had a claim on the village and the fertile fields around it. The Contessa annexed the village, as I'd planned. But she did nothing about the bloodletting ritual. And while it continued, she taxed the villagers to pay for the plantation she was building. And I had to do something, didn't I? I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better. I suppose so. Thank you. It's a relief to share this burden. You've given me a lot to think about.
Your coming is a favorable omen already. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. How can I when they posture and peck like a pair of kata birds? I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked. Ikera, to patch a hull or stitch a sail is costly when supplies come from distant islands. The city has honest work for those in need, I say, and insists that everyone carry a heavy purse. I am Onikaza's shield. For a time, Let it suffice that we speak. My sister and I both value action over fine words. If you can shoulder some of our royal burdens, I know she would be grateful. My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Rapau for their silence? Take this if you need proof. Akira, you are sharper than my guards for knowing this, I say. An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nekataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nekataka has a pirate problem. Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market. Earn that yours is not a face that others will recognize. Let no one learn that you work for the crown. When you travel down the mountain, seek Takehu in Pariki's Overlook. He is a godlike, one who the people look to for hope. Ngati's chosen knows of our troubles. He could also use a lesson in Raparu modesty. Takehu was touched by the goddess Ngati at birth. He is as much a creature of the sea as he is Hawana. We are left to interpret what the goddess intends by sending him among us. Akira, if I know Takehu, he is stirring tempers in the Water Shapers Guild. Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess.
What have you been up to, Aloth, since we left Twin Elms?
Oh, quite a lot. I've been around the Eastern Reach, traveled to Old Valia.
That right? Well, who took you there?
I'm perfectly capable of traveling on my own, you know.
Of course I know that. Just never seen it is all.
Takehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
Guildmaster, be reasonable. I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
This should be over soon. My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
Ikera, the significance is clearer to some than others.
For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
Ugh, insufferable. Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection? I had not expected the prince to respond so quickly. Serpent's crown is under pressure, I say. And what exactly did Prince Aruihi tell you? Black market? But this has nothing to do with my problem. The prince did not mention anything about water shapers? I had thought the guild would be his first concern. It seems I was wrong. I expect that the prince is used to doling out only what is essential, and holding back the rest. Now, let us speak of this somewhere else. One can never tell who is listening. To the gullet, then. A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook. Outside of the Mataru priests, we don't get many spirit readers. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears. And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him. What will you do when you catch up to this walking god? As do many mortals in the Deadfire, it seems the gods are no different. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
Ishi, try and keep away from the strange man's tentacles.
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion. Good guess, only for as long as, well, I say you will learn, in time. Words, Captain.
You have questions for me. Speak up, I say. Ikera, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Huana by the goddess Ngati. Hariki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know? Our art is the yield of the Huana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Ngati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise. We control tides, prevent storm damage, and keep unwelcome ships at bay.
Remember the tenets of iron.
Remember the Battle of Nakaro Atoll. Lately, we have experienced an artistic revival of sorts, thanks to our star pupil, Takehu. We represent the best of Huana achievement, no small responsibility.
Does it suit you, being a soldier? I did well enough at it, but it was never for me.
I like knowing that someone has a plan. Never felt it from the gods.
You ever think Maybe I put my faith in the wrong cause?
Faith is what you feel in a given moment. Like a bird's feathers, it molts from time to time.
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel? You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth. The Grand Secretary Atsura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right. Her office is at the back of Imperial Command. She is busy organizing other matters. But I am sure she will grant you an audience.
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside. The Royal Deadfire Company is a trading company, is it not? And you are on Kahanga soil. You cannot turn me away.
The Brass Citadel and the Royal Deadfire Company operate under the auspices of the Ranga Nui of Rawatai. We answer to him, not to you. These Valians are always sending their spies to snoop around, and I won't have it.
And these Rawataians think they own anything they stack 2 stones on top of. I am here to conduct business, not engage in petty power struggles.
What? She's up to no good, I know it. You may pass. Just stay out of trouble.
Agressima, friend.
Oh, you wanted something, Captain? What, me? I'll go ahead and say it. You're halfway toward all right. Oh, I know. But it's kind of you to say. Have you ever... Dumb question, but here I go anyway. You ever gotten close to someone, even though it just... If that's your idea of out of the ordinary, then you need a lesson, my friend. Below deck, there are only 2 rules. Keep it interesting and remember your bitter squash.
What I'm talking about is a scenario where a difference in rank can get in the way of enjoying shore leave. This is like picking oakum. I'm just testing the direction of the wind here. Best not to overthink it. As winds do. I've enjoyed that sort of arrangement before. Nothing to suggest I won't enjoy it again someday. Depends on what's in front of me and what's on the horizon, Captain. Well, I've laid out my thoughts. You must have a couple. Be a pleasure, Captain. Funny thing is that Ishii can get particular about people. And when he doesn't take to someone, neither do I. Did I say that? Not everyone's a bird lover. That's fine. Some days I can't stand another second of Captain Stinkfeathers. But Ishii and I are never parted for longer than a few breaths. Take that however you will. Try not to use any foul language.
Well, this is unexpected. What exactly did you set out to accomplish by peering into the soul of this noble creature? I see. You must put a great deal of faith in Maya to find yourself in this situation. The prospect of sharing her company. Far be it from me to judge affection. Better that it bloom or wilt uninterrupted. While the Deadfire is being cut, cauterized, and trampled, it is charming to find someone who makes time for such elaborate foreplay. I can say for certain that this is a very hungry, overworked, and at times underappreciated bird. He and Maya share that much in common, at least. Beyond that, I leave the rest up to you. Do you often turn to birds for relationship advice? I sense that Maya does not easily allow others into her confidence. She is observing you closer than you might guess. She has much on her mind. This may all be a whimsical diversion. Or, didn't you know? Perhaps it isn't for me to say. I babble. What does the goddess of creativity observing? The one you call a Shiza makes for a convenient Try not to take it too personally. Best of luck in your mating ritual. What?
I hope that was as amusing for you as it was for me.
Beat it. I don't have time to chit-chat. Not a chance, amico. Fascina sent you, didn't she? Postinago, just for these? Soft as down, but not a single fence willing to pay me a fair price. Maybe they've got imp stink all over them. Here he comes, and I'm too late. If Hamuto doesn't give me an extension on my debt, I'm a dead man.
So, Berteno, you hired a mercenary, or else a negotiator. That coin should have gone toward your debt to me.
Huh? No, I didn't. That is, I would never go behind your back. Hamuto, I wondered if you might take them as a payment on my debt, or...
I possess gloves of my own, and they suffice for my needs. This is a private matter. Your interference is unnecessary. Enough. I have work for you. No. Berteno's assets are mine to dispense with as I please. I'll hear no more of it. These are Archimer's possessions? I would no more incur the wrath of an archmage than I would stick my head inside a dragon's maw. There you have it. If our business is concluded at last, then I take my leave.
With sails unfurled and sword held high, to battle for glory and Rautai.
Faithfully done, Emiani.
Come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know. I punched my captain.
Atta girl.
Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore. I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better. Still a scramble-root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer. Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know. Either personally or by... I'm sure you're capable. But I don't know enough about you. Let's talk again when you've made a name for yourself.
Report to Wakoyo Nui when your hands and...
That's the last time I ship out with some soft-handed runt.
You're giving Ishi a weird look. What did he do?
I'm not giving him a weird look. He's giving me a weird look.
Be welcome. We gather to honor the goddess, for we must earn the strength to endure the darkest of life's battles. The Kira, rain and wind, is a better teacher than any priest. A fighter accustomed to comfort earns only bruises. Each obstacle is a challenge we must answer. These are whetstones that sharpen us into fine blades. It is an opportunity to learn. What good is a fighter who knows how to defend against a single enemy? If we must one day fight one another, do you believe so? It is not in might alone that Margran holds influence. There is purpose, conviction, achievement.
Candles and bombs. Shining God, light your path, stranger. Can I interest you in... We gathered what we could. Much of our coin goes to... Thank you, sir.
We will witness a new beginning.
Sure.
So it is you. I could not think of a reason why your ghost should haunt the Deadfire, save to haunt me. And that smacks of arrogance. Another collection of spirits? The rumor was that Cadnua was destroyed, and you with it. I was sorry to hear it. I did in time, once I thought I had summoned up the words to explain what happened in the White March. None of it made much sense to the Regency, but my men stood by me. If I was mad, so were they. When the priest spoke of Aethys' return, I volunteered to come, along with a few of my men. I think the Morning Council was content to have me out of the way. That's putting it all very simply. But then, I suspect few of us have simple reasons for coming to the Deadfire. So, his appearance has renewed your faith as well. I think for once I am content to wait. If our God wishes to speak with us, wishes anything of us, he will give us a sign. The priests pray daily for it. I would know if he has a plan for Rayetsaris.
Seem to remember he already had one. Just wasn't any good.
Yes, play the jealous child. All you knew of his plan was that you weren't part of it.
Aethys had something he wanted to get done, and he chose Raid Ceres to pay the price. Yet here you are, begging for more. Say what you want about dear Woodens, but at least they got a will of their own.
You're right. That was uncalled for. I apologize. Each missive from the Deadfire raises new tumult. Some believe our Lord restored, while others doubt. We've done penance for many long years. None of us know what forgiveness ought to look like.
It doesn't seem like Aethys has his mind on forgiveness these days.
I don't know. I came here on a pilgrimage of a kind. Nekataka is full of spirits. And the sea, where to begin? Yet I was scarcely off the docks before the Valians were eager to use my condition for their profit. You are a watcher still, yet you are neither mad nor killed. It's good to see. The cure you sought, and which I was weak enough to doubt. See, there. Determination will win out every time. And now you are on to new challenges. That sword was only meant to keep you alive through your ordeal. It's fulfilled its purpose. Take care, and may the shining God light your way.
Gods darn it, Samhain, I wasn't doing any wrong. They were beating him just for begging.
Language, Missy. What if your mama heard you speaking that filth? I think she'd tan you up good, I do.
Color me unconcerned.
Sakes alive! You sure bring out the worst in me, Shodi. Forgive me. So, what? You figured you'd take his lumps for him?
That wasn't exactly my plan, no.
I can't let you keep stirring the pot like this, Shodi. Think about how it reflects on us all. We're here not only by the grace of Aethys, but also the Queen. I mean it. Get in just one more harebrained, reckless, no-good vigilante squabble, and I'll have you confined to the Dorters. We clear?
You're the Watcher who sailed into town on a crest of souls. I'm guessing you're not here for the baptism. You help people. Oh, hell. Now where are my manners? I'm Shodi, child of the Dawn Stars and priestess to Gone, at your service. Darn right I am. This here temple is his too, though Samhain will never concede it. The Juana built it, just for Gone. But that's aside from the point. Why, you know an awful lot about Gone? I think you mean he's all what's left. You did hear, Aethys died, yeah? When summer and spring have passed us on, well, That just leaves us autumn and winter and gone. Figure I'm a bit unorthodox, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. Say, if you don't mind my asking, what's brought you to my temple? You and me both. You wouldn't believe the dreams I've been seeing. It's like I gotta get ready for this big reaping, this worldwide harvest, like we've never had before. It's going to be too much for me. Nightmares more like. Terrors that come true. Had 'em since I was a little girl on the farm. Guess Gone was speaking to me even then. Think I might could join you? We could do a lot of good together. Me with my light, you with your... everything. I know an offer rare as hen's teeth when I hear it. Yeah, I'm taking it. You won't regret this.
Hey.
I'll go.
May Aethys's light shine upon you. Jody, I do hope you are not getting into trouble now.
Who, me? No, I wouldn't dream of it.
Do swine stink like shit? I'm guessing you're not here to worship. Then what can I do for you?
Gone's the only one that matters.
The Shining God's got many faces, but they're all his to wear. Divine King Widewind, he saw the dawn stars, telling him of things to come. But it's gone with sickle and lantern that's come to the Deadfire. Our God's returned, and he's gonna bring balance to the world. He's gonna right all the wrongs we have suffered. Gone will bring a new beginning for all of us when that hour comes. Oh yes, people are afraid, angry. Change can be frightening. But what did any of us come here for? If not a new beginning. No more than anywhere else. No sense fighting it. The water sustains our faith, surely as it does these trees.
I feel bad there's not enough for everybody. Yeah?
Got it.
Payment for heads. It could be no simpler, I say.
Supplies! Get your supplies!
Tell me, are you someone who walks the path that coin lays out before you? Transmuting actions into payment is the alchemy that orders our world. All things turn on the access of a coin bond. I pay bounties so that death can bring order to life. Would you help me continue the cycle? The next time payment crosses our hands, let it be in the execution of a bond, a vow, a bounty. If you would forge a coin bond, I know of people on these islands who must die. Their fate is already... Dugra the Ascetic is wanted for crimes against his monastic order. His people have made a coin bond for his death. The Orlan wanders the wilderness on the island of Crookspur, northwest of Nekataka. Speak freely, I say. The coin bond is patient. It knows that you are committed to your course. I will be here when you are ready. I am a paladin of the Gold-Pact Order. Since taking my oath, I have never been absent of work, and I also enjoy knitting on occasion.
Consider friend, certainly.
A door watcher. Have a look.
Merla, it's so humid. Let's get someone to conjure up a breeze. Merla, it's so humid. Let's get someone to conjure up a breeze.
You don't mind if I talk and work, do you? What can I do for you? Not the coziest place for it, is it? But the open air, the lightning specifically, is a boon. Lets our mages have a rest now and then. Good test of the equipment, too. We're working on making it less delicate. A sure thing, amico. Comes with the job, doesn't it? Well, a few years in a deer will do that to you. Up to your armpits in jungle mud, insects, and snotty nobles. Probably would have been better off talking to the bugs. Oh, things are much different here. The Huana may not have the same passion for the field as the Republics, but they understand we're doing research, not sacrificing children to wolves or whatever it is the Deerwood believes. So, no riots. Fortunately, news out of the Deerwood doesn't mean much to this lot. It took us a few months to adapt, a few bad shocks too before we finished proofing the machinery against rain. I like to think it lends it all a little drama, no? Besides, how better to honor Helia than with invention? For now, ne? No trouble if you think of anything else, amico. Glad you asked, amico. Very glad. We're very excited about the work here, and we are always looking for volunteers. We've catalogued a number of interesting properties unique to Luminous Adra, but there are some very specific qualities we are investigating. Qualities that a Watcher happens to be uniquely suited to exploring. You're just what we're missing. No. Well, yes, what isn't? But not exceptionally dangerous. Luminous Adra has special effects upon Kith. Even to the humblest, it offers some small improvements. Rejuvenation, but what about those who have already harnessed their own essence? Consider the talented Cutpurse, for instance. Luminous Adra holds enormous quantities of essence, the kind of energy we can't replicate. I believe we can harness this connection and your natural abilities to transport a person across great distances in a moment. Oh, good. You've done some experimenting on your own. A curious mind is a happy mind, I say. Can't mope about ghosts all day. We've collected a number of illuminating readings, and our machines are ready to harness the Adra's essence. But now, for the moment, if someone were capable of blind when it comes to targeting the next pillar, even of manipulating it, someone like a Watcher, for instance. Precisely right. We've had luck with shorter jumps, but those were as much spellcraft as science. The idea is for you to focus on the next connection point. The machine will use that new link between the Adra veins to create a tether, as well as provide the energy for you to jump. What's really exciting is, so long as you are holding that connection open, you're...
Sorry, which was the exciting part? I may have missed something.
The next pill is due east of here, in the middle of a farm. It's not as tall as this one, but you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Oh, and don't worry. We paid the farmers. We'll get everything ready for...
Merla, burned.
Hello, my apologies. I didn't see you there. I am fine. Is there some reason I shouldn't be? Which is not to say I do not appreciate your concern. I, like the other scholars here, am engaged in the study of the soul sciences. Indeed. I apologize if you find the sight of blood unsettling. Though, from your appearance, I would expect you to be well acquainted with it. In any case, why are you here? Just a bit of culture I've picked up along the way. I admire their tailoring tradition immensely. It's much grander than clothing one finds in the White That Wends. I am, of course. It is a mundane story. I sought out the ship with the longest oversea route departing from the Republics and booked passage. I had intended to perform a handful of experiments regarding the nature of souls that could only be done safely at sea. The sensitive kind. My experiments were successful, and the ship eventually reached its destination. The rest is inconsequential. If you insist. With the aid of a device of copper and Adra, I have uncoupled my soul from my body, freeing myself of Barith's wheel. I belong only to myself now. You do? Perhaps you would be amenable to me traveling with you, on something of a permanent basis? This blade is not merely for show. There are no end of swordsmen in the Deadfire, though, right? I, however, possess some little sway over the minds of others. Truly?
Whoa, you sure about that?
Thaklat, traveler. I am grateful. I have all that I need. We may depart at your leisure.
So you defeated this ship-devouring beast all by yourself?
I'm telling you, you just have to aim for the eyes.
You go in first! My sister Sostangaloa is down there, and the priests feed it fish.
Come closer to the altar. Come inside. I ask only for no talking. Not until we pay our respects to...
Silent prayer? Where are the songs, I say? Did you learn this from Valians?
Again, I ask that you please fall silent for prayer. Deity of life and death, the endless devourer who encompasses all existence, hear, I beseech you, Kohopa and Tangaloa, digest all of my devotion, and Rikuhu, Berath, my god. All right. I will address your inquiries. Best, do you even know what it takes to make it deep into the hanging sepulchres? I know the way, but... Better. The timing's getting tighter, and there is one thing before the end. Something, that's right. I've got no hope, but you do. I'm thinking we can help eat my eels. My infinity coil keeps rattling. Pendants resonating with your chime. The coil resonates, but it's weak. You could unseal the way, but you died my time's waning fast. Right? I'd best not let this chance pass. There's a sacred text, the eulogy to Isaiah. It's been buried in the catacombs beneath the temple for centuries. Next day, I need it. Of course, the tombs, they only open to the dead, or those bearing Berath's chime. It never was added to the tomes, but it holds the final clues for my death. It's my best chance. I prayed for decades, night to day and night again. Now, here you are, just in time. You're my best chance, or only, maybe. Take the coil. It'll open the crypts. Bring me Isaiah's eulogy, and I'll teach you all I know of Berath's. I'll tell you what I can. He's no Juana, nor a death godlike neither, but he was a high priest of Berath. His hair was a Diran, a hunter. chasing the undead 200 years ago. Read somewhere, one tome, he sailed to the Deadfire for a weapon abhorrent to Berath. Said the blade held a power most fearful. Issair fought hard for it, won the blade, but suffered grievous wounds. Berath kept him alive till he could make it to the temple's catacombs. His champions were the ones who wrote his eulogy. Don't know. Did hear he was slain with a coveted blade. The S-talk was an affront to Berath. That I did read. Issair wanted to guard it with his soul and his always. You've got to go outside on the lower walkway. Doors sealed up tight, though. Priest before me, all death godlikes could open it. Door requires a coil, resonating with Berath's chime. But I haven't met a death godlike in my time. All right. I will address your inquiries best as I can. So, end of the turn. I'm near it, but first, I've got to leave guidance for my apprentice, the next in the cycle. Chosen to lead. Been wasting away for months. Can't say it's been easy, dying so soon. Maybe you can see. I'm no death godlike. Berath bestowed not one in my generation with a chime. Not the next, neither. A flawed messenger like me can't open the crypts. So my best chance is to die. Liturgies, instructions for ritual preparations, when and how, sermons, some histories too. All of this, it's our knowledge has gleaned through centuries of service. Now, I've got to leave it all behind for the next disciple. Under the temple, carved in the mountain's caverns, lies an extraordinary maze of catacombs. They're the hanging sepulchres, burial place for ancient Wana chieftains. The bodies are protected by Berath's best, roaming, always. Plus, the ways sealed by the deity itself, the dead, with their souls. They roam still. The ones who were chosen by Berath. Not everyone's born so blessed. Sometimes, instead, you've got to die for it. The same. Your word, Berath. Our word, Rikuhu. We worship the twin deal. The cyclic connection of the overworld and the underworld. Life and death. Life is Kohopa, and Tangaloa is death. When they'd swallowed all of existence, they tried to eat each other next. Now all things pass through their entrails. The end of one enters the mouth of the next, from the underworld to the overworld, and back again and again.